Hello and welcome to Smartphone Photography for Absolute Beginners. My name's Richard, I'm the gallery coordinator here at Colonnade House in Worthing. The building is comprised of 3 floors of creative studio space and 2 ground floor gallery spaces. As you might imagine, at the gallery we're always taking images and videos. Everything from portraits of the artists, shots of the gallery and studios, product shots, artist workshops, the artwork itself, and events like private views. Even with all that experience though, we're not experts. We just wanted to share some of the tips that we've learnt along the way. If you get stuck at any point, just remember the answers are always out there. A quick Google search is normally what helps me when I get stuck. So today we're quickly going to show you some top tips. This includes some examples of how we do it straight from our phones, and some insights from amazing local creatives here in Worthing. Before we go through those tips though, I'm going to say a couple of things that might sound a little obvious to you. The first of which is spend time with your phone. The more comfortable you are taking photos with it, the more fun you're going to have, the easier it's going to be, and the better photos you're going to take. The second point is know why you're taking the photo. This is going to change how you take the photo when you figure out where it's going to go. Is it going to go on Instagram? Are you taking it for your website? Or maybe for a business card? Knowing where you want the photo to go is going to help you take the photo in the first place. Now, I may well repeat this next bit of advice, but the more images you take, the more familiar you'll be with what your smartphone can and can't do. There's so much smartphones can now do, but they still have tiny sensors that need a lot of light to work properly. And it's only by playing that you'll discover those limitations. Okay, let's get on with the list. 1. Okay, wipe the lens. This might sound obvious, but it can make all the difference. Your smartphone spends most of its time in your pocket, bag, under the sofa if you're me, and cleaning it's going to save you loads of time. It's as simple as opening your camera app, getting a microfiber or glasses cloth and giving it a little wipe. Here we're approaching an amazing owl picture by Kim Thompson, who recently showed in the gallery. Getting in nice and close, and with that clear lens we're now able to take a nice detailed shot of Kim's work. And there we have it. 2. Second most important thing, lighting and location. All smartphones perform better when there's lots of light, as I've said previously, but if you can't find that light, the thing to remember is move your subject or move yourself. Here we're going to go through some examples that we've shot in the gallery. Positioning this sculpture by Carolyn McConnell in the window and then moving myself lower to take the photograph really helped it shine. Similarly, getting low on this shot of artist Ellie Bond cutting up some acetate really helped the photograph. Earlier this year we had Anna of Anna's Drawing Room exhibit in the gallery, and I was really struggling to take photographs of her work on the walls, and it was only when I started pulling them off and putting them on our lovely gallery floor that they really started to pop. I moved them around the space, taking wider photographs and getting closer in, and I think it really helped show the work off in the best way. Here's a portrait I took of Anna at that exhibition, and actually that takes us nicely to our first local expert tip. The tip I would offer relates to taking a headshot using the portrait mode. The phone tells you whether you're at the correct distance from the subject. So the only issue then is how to create a natural, relaxed looking photo. My tip is this: direction. Give the subject directions on what to do. This puts them at ease. Ask them to look at a certain point down the street, at you, at the ground, etc. Constantly change what you want them to do. And talk to them throughout. The directions put them at ease, and the conversations create natural expressions. Thank you to Lulu of Beyond Brighton for the tip and for sharing this amazing portrait of local artist Nikki Bell. 3. So you might not have heard of this one, or you might already use them, but grids, composition counts. Okay, we're going to take you through how you would turn that on most phones. It's quite similar between Android and iPhone. So you go into your settings, and usually you can find the grids option there, and you can choose 3x3, 4x4, or in here you can also choose golden ratio. That's going to help you get the best framing on your subject possible, whether you're going to use it to the side for a Canva post with information at the right, or as we're going to do here with another Kim Thompson picture, straight in the middle. So let's take the picture, we're just raising the exposure there with that little sunshine, take the photograph, crop in, and there we have it, another lovely picture. Straight on to number 4. Okay, this is about focus and exposure, keeping that picture in focus, nice and sharp, or exposed correctly, which is to do with how light or dark that image is. Again, across Android and iPhone, if you tap on what you want to keep in focus and hold your finger on that position, an AEAF locked dialog box should pop up. That means wherever you move your phone, and whatever you adjust your exposure to, it will remain the same, giving you more chance to have a nice, sharp and well exposed image. Okay, blazing through these, up to number 5. Tip number 5. Don't use a flash, please, ever. I mean, not ever. Of course there's going to be examples where you need it, but for the most part, it's not useful. Here, it's already a difficult photo because of how reflective that glass is, but the amount of images we receive from artists where they try and use a flash to do away with the reflection, it bears saying, don't do it. Look at this photograph, you're not going to be able to save that. Instead, remember lighting and location. Move that picture off the wall, move it out of the frame perhaps, or move yourself. Okay, tip 6, probably my favourite. Editing apps rescued me more times than I'd care to admit, and there are so many available. You have hugely popular ones by Adobe like Lightroom and Photoshop Express, or more niche ones like VSCO Cam for turning your photos into film, grain style photos. Our favourite at the gallery though is Snapseed because it's the most robust that we've found and allows you the most options. Here's a wide shot of a Kim Thompson sketch and final piece that I'm going to take into Snapseed. Just racing through a lot of the options to show you just how much control you have over an image. So a black and white sketch like this, you can up the brightness, play with the contrast, and be as broad or as detailed as you want to be. I think what this video shows is just how much I go back and forth playing around with the different options in Snapseed. I go into the tools, which are all the very specific settings, but I also go into the styles, and in this one there's a fine art one that you can see it makes it a lot darker. Like I've been saying about using the phone to take lots of photos, playing around in these editing apps and spending some time makes a lot of difference as well. Here are the final 2 pictures after they've been edited, and you can see it's helped quite a lot from that initial photograph. Another example of what you can do with Snapseed as a bit of a deeper dive is this picture of Des Hart doing an amazing painting here. I zoom in and you can use selective highlights as well. So I'm just brightening that part there where the light is naturally hitting it, just to make the face pop that little bit more. Increasing the structure means making it a little bit sharper as well. If you zoom out, it just has been lifted that bit more. Here is just a random shot of the wall, not a particularly good photograph, but with cropping and taking it through Snapseed, it's become very usable for social media. And that brings us to our next local expert tip. We've shown you some examples of how we use smartphone photography in the gallery, but of course if you're on Instagram you see people using their smartphones in incredible ways for lifestyle shots, product shots. There aren't many people who do it better than Hello Dodo. Here's their tip. Have fun! What happens if you shoot down, or across something, or slightly into the sun? What if you hold a piece of white paper at a certain angle with one hand? Does it disperse some shadows? Experiment with apps if you're after a certain aesthetic, such as a colour story or film app. You can keep it as simple or as complex as you like. We tend to go with simple and just keep everything bright, slightly saturated and colourful. Always colourful. Thanks to the beautiful subjects Hero and Pepper there, and to Ali and Jam of Hello Dodo for that excellent tip. It takes me very nicely to our final tip, 7. Do it a lot. I've said it 1,000 times now probably, but that is really the secret to getting better at smartphone photography. Be sure to tag us in all of your progress. We'd love to see how you're doing at Colonnade HSE on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And be sure to sign up to our newsletter for more professional development events and to find out what's going on at the gallery at www.colonnadehouse.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, like it, get in contact. We want to hear from you. Thanks. Bye.